33. We'll probably go ahead and get started in just a second. Whenever we do you tell us, give us a countdown.
Okay, so according to the time on my computer, it's 6:34, and I'll now call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Brownwood ISD Board of Trustees to order. Accordance with the concerns with the coronavirus and the Open Meeting Act changes as specified by the government, we can hold this meeting via Zoom. It is open to the public, and the opportunity for public comment is available if someone has, in fact, signed up, which I do not think anyone has sent any emails requesting to speak at this meeting. A quorum is present, minus Mr. Roderick Jones. At this time, Cody Smith will give us the invocation. Cody?
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight. Please give us the insight during these difficult times. Watch over our community and our nation and help us move forward together. Please guide us to make the best possible decisions we can for our students and our staff. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Cody. Again, we do not have any audience for guests. There was no one who submitted any requests to speak. So we'll move straight to the superintendent's report.
Just a few things. If you still plan to go to SLI this summer, please get information from Ms. Dempsey and be sure she's aware of your plans. TASB still plans to offer that as of right now, and she is signing everybody up for that. We have until the end of May to cancel that, the middle of May for the deposit information to go in. So just get with her if you have questions. Today we announced that we're moving graduation up from July 31st to June the 15th. Excuse me, June 5th. June 5th. Miss Land, don't laugh. June the 5th. And you should receive some information tomorrow as far as a frequently asked questions document that goes over all the logistics. We will limit the number of people who can enter into the stadium. That's by order of the governor. We will practice social distancing. We will have sanitation stations. We will follow all the guidelines that the governor has set out for us to have outdoor ceremony. But we are excited that we're able to do that and move it up. We think our graduates who are going into the military who leave on June the 8th will now be able to participate. Plus, it just brings it closer to the beginning of the summer where graduation normally is. So we're glad for that. We talked to the city today and we pulled the permit to have the June 5th parade. So we will still have a parade on June the 5th to honor our graduates. Details about that will also be forthcoming, but we're happy to still be able to work with the city and get that done on June the 5th. There will be a gap in between the two events. The parade doesn't end at graduation or anything like that. The parade will start in the afternoon. It will finish, and then graduation will be that night at 8:15. We do have drive-through COVID-19 testing happening tomorrow here in Brown County. It's going to happen at the back of Coggin Intermediate School. The National Guard is coming to set up that station. We've been working with the county health department since Friday to put the logistics together on that. So they'll have a testing station tomorrow. I believe it's from 8 until the afternoon. You do have to pre-register for that, so you can't just drive up without having been pre-registered. I got word today that we'll also be doing the same testing on Saturday. I don't have a lot of details about that. I just know that we definitely are having it tomorrow. You see Mr. Bonsalon here as our HR person. You've received a director's report from Human Resources. It's a very busy time of the year. Usually the busiest time is around June, but with school being out, a lot of people are going ahead and making their plans. We don't feel like we're going to have as much turnover as we have in the past. So we're glad for that. We think we got some very good candidates to fill in for those spots that we have come open. And so you've received that report. I believe that's all that I have.
Do you think the Saturday drive-through testing will be at Coggin as well?
It will. That was the last word that I got. It will be at the same location.
Okay.
It's going to be in that back parking lot by the overpass.
Does anybody else have any questions regarding this report?
How's it going to work with limiting what people come in for graduation? How's that going to work?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear all the question. It kind of cut out.
As far as graduation and who can come and go,
Mhm.
who can come in at graduation, how's that going to work?
There's a form that'll have to be filled out. It's called a COVID screening form. That's part of the requirements is that you screen everybody for that. So we have a COVID screening form that'll go out. People will fill that form out, and then to receive their tickets to enter into graduation, they have to bring that form to a designated location to pick up their tickets. So you'll bring the form, you'll turn it in, you'll get a ticket for that form. Each graduate will be limited to the number of tickets. We feel like that's going to be around 6 per family. And the event will still be live streamed just like it has in the past for those people who aren't able to go inside. So the COVID form will be filled out ahead of time. You bring it to get your ticket, and then you enter into the stadium that evening.
So it's really just limited to each graduate bringing a certain amount of people, and that's it. No general public.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mhm. And that's part of the requirements for having the outdoor graduation is you have to limit the attendance and you have to space them out. And so we're going to use both sides of the stadium. Certain graduates will be assigned to the home side. Certain graduates will be assigned to the visitor side. We're going to set up the stage in the end zone by the video board. So there is no bad seat as far as home versus visitors. It also helps us to space people out and get more people into the stadium.
And we will use the video board as they walk?
Yes. We will have sanitation stations as people enter the stadium as well as part of the requirement.
Excellent. Anybody else? Okay, we'll move next to discussion and action items.
First item is the grading policy and class rank policy during school closure. This is an item that you have had some time to review now. Because of the COVID outbreak, we have to adjust some of our grading policies and class rank policies. These will be in effect just for the spring of 2020. Our normal grading will go back into effect. That's why we're doing a resolution and not modifying a policy so that we don't have to come back. This is a very limited scope. So any questions on this document?
Okay, if there are no questions, we'll need a motion and a second for this resolution.
Actually, I'm sorry. I just have one question. So I've read through it, but so for this spring, there really is no class ranking. Is that correct?
No, there is class ranking for seniors. The senior class ranking cut off after the fall semester. So
Okay.
nothing they've done this spring will count in their class rank. As far as every other class for the spring of 2020, their grade point averages will be adjusted based on the document. And so if they took an advanced class and they passed, they'd get a 5.0. If they took a regular class and passed, they'll get the 4.0 max credit.
Okay.
And a 0 for
Okay.
each. So it'll still count for
Okay.
everybody except seniors.
Okay.
I make the motion to approve the resolution regarding grading and class rank policies during COVID closure.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Evans, second by Ms. Thompson to approve the resolution regarding grading and class rank. Any further questions? I'll start with Ms. Thompson. How do you vote?
Yay.
Mr. Evans?
Yay.
Mr. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs? You're muted.
Yay.
Thank you, Dr. Fowler.
Yay.
And I vote yay, so the vote is unanimous. Thank you. Next is the consent agenda.
There's a few items on the consent agenda. First is approval of an MOU with Tarleton State. Mr. Moore and myself and Ms. Smith had the opportunity to meet virtually with Dr. Hurley, the president of Tarleton, and they are proposing this resolution, which is really a one-way resolution, which is good for us. We really are not required to do anything by this except receive their good fortune and be sure that we continue to show Tarleton as an option for our students, which we've already been doing. So we're excited about this MOU. What it does is it allows the top 25% of each class to be admitted to Tarleton automatically, and their fees for admission have been waived. And also there's a scholarship that they are proposing to give those students if they go to Tarleton. So it's a win-win for us. We received some scholarship money for kids who may go to Tarleton, some automatic admission for students who are in the top 25% who may have already chosen Tarleton regardless. So we're excited for this. Tarleton's been a good partner for us in the past, and we think this only strengthens that. Approval of budgeted purchases over $50,000. This was placed in the agenda several weeks ago. Since we've had this item in the agenda, we've had some meetings with technology and with our budget department, and we are discussing maybe the change from MacBooks to another type of computer that may be a little bit easier to manage. And so we may not give MacBook Airs in the future. We may give a different type of computer, and we're following Mark Stanley's lead on that. We will still be one-to-one, but we think that we may be able to complete the same goals and the same advantages without using MacBooks. And so we're investigating that. We ask that you go ahead and approve this as part of the consent agenda with the understanding that we may not use this moving forward. We may change to a different type of computer. And we'll certainly, if it's over 50,000, we'll bring that back to the board for approval in a separate document. And then the third thing is the approval of the minutes from the April 13th meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Evans, second by Dr. Fowler to approve the consent agenda. Starting with Ms. Thompson, how do you vote?
Yay.
Mr. Evans?
Yay.
Mr. Smith?
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yay.
Dr. Fowler?
Yay.
And I say yay as well. That's unanimous. That concludes any of the action items that we have. Next will be announcements.
On your agenda, you can see the announcements. We have a few. Last day of school, of course, is May the 28th. Our last day for for drop-off of equipment is May the 26th. The video for virtual graduation will be aired on the 29th at 7 p.m. And we just talked about graduation and the parade. Our next scheduled board meeting is June the 8th. We do plan to have that meeting, and sometimes we've canceled the June meeting. But during this crisis, it's important that we have that. We have a lot of business that we need to attend to. We do plan to hold that meeting in person at this point in time, if things continue like they have been. So we'll plan June the 8th in person, and of course, we'll do social distancing here when we have that. SLI is still scheduled for the 17th through the 20th of June. And then the ceremonies, of course, we talked about have been adjusted a little bit. That's all that I have.
I have one question. It'll be parade and open house prior to graduation, all on the same day on June 5th.
No, good question. Just a parade.
Okay.
Open house is not scheduled for June the 5th. If we need that event, that'll be later in July or in August.
So we're not going to do open house right now.
Not right now. That's a good question. June the 5th will be the parade downtown, and then graduation that night.
Okay.
Because right now the open house type event is not allowed. You're not allowed to bring that many kids into the school buildings yet.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything like to add? Any last minute questions? Anything else you'd like to add? Thank you so much. And so therefore there's no further business to attend to. I'll adjourn this meeting of the Brownwood ISD Board of Trustees at 6:48. We will remain here to hear some informational stuff from Dr. Young.